Hello, welcome. My name is Michael, and why do some people think God is like them? And they think they're imitating God by being the way they are, but in reality, there's something a little bit more deeper to that understanding, probably. Here's something I want to share with you in Psalms 18, verse 26. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the forward thou wilt show thyself forward. What are we talking about here? This is a long time ago, but when I was reading this particular passage, this old sermon that I heard on the radio came to my mind. And this guy was talking about how he kind of have somewhat an older autistic son. I wouldn't say high on the spectrum of autistic, but needless to say, he lived at his house. It's like, well, if you don't like my rules, you can leave. Son left, and then just come crying back, and then he's spending time with God, and God's just kind of being the same way with him kind of deal. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, okay. But now that I've read this passage, I'm like, oh, that old sermon came to my mind. And it's kind of like God was reminding me, it's like, yeah, a lot of times the pastors or a person, they are very like yelling and whatever to get you to change your ways, and they don't realize that God is yelling at them a lot of times because they're actually yelling at other people. And it's like, oh. So you may have someone that likes to yell a lot as a Christian or pastor or something to that effect, and they say, well, God was not yelling at me, but like was treating me the same way, so I almost kind of like validates how I'm able to treat other people. But it's like, and if you read in the Bible, it's like, okay, though, if you're going to be that way, if you're going to act forward, God's going to be forward with you. And so you kind of get this idea, it's like, well, God must be this way because that's how he's treating me. In reality, it's kind of like you're treating other people that way. And so it's kind of the sense of, it's like, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Maybe we should also rephrase that a little bit. Do unto people as you want God to do unto you. It's kind of like the one guy that God forgave him a lot of his debt. Then he went to the servant, and he had very little debt, but he took him, sent him to prison and all that stuff. And then when the king heard about this, he wasn't willing to forgive that small little debt when he had forgiven him much. He took that man that had shown mercy and basically took him into a prison with very harsh treatment until he was able to repay that entire debt back to the king because of the way he treated his servant. And so now you get the picture of, well, it's like this. And to verse 25 of Psalm 18 is like, with the merciful thou wilt show thyself mercy, and with the upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. And with the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the forward thou wilt show thyself forward. And so a lot of times people think, oh, well, this is the way God is, so it kind of almost validates how I'm able to treat other people because this is how God's treating me. It's like, no, that may just be God getting your attention. It's like, hey, this isn't the way to go. It's kind of like the whole man. It's like, if you're not willing to forgive that person their debt, he's not going to forgive your debt kind of deal. And I think it's kind of more when you kind of tie into this whole aspect of, those that show mercy, he'll show mercy. But to the forward man, he'll be forward. You know, it's like if you're very aggressive towards people, God's going to be very aggressive towards you. And it's not to say it's to get your attention. You know, it's like, do unto others as you wish to be done unto you, as you wish God to do unto you. And I don't think a lot of people kind of understand that principle or really have dived deep enough in the Bible to fully understand this concept. Yeah, they usually quote like, oh, well, be merciful to receive mercy, but they don't go forward enough to look at like, well, am I being forward with people? Is that why God's being forward with me? So I just want to check your heart at the door. How are you treating people? And are you, the way you're treating people, is that how God's treating you? Are you being merciful, or are you going to be forward? Are you pure in heart? Because if you're pure in heart, God will treat you, he'll be pure in heart. You know, just kind of real quick. With the pure, thou will show thyself pure. All right, God will show himself pure. And with the forward, thou will show thyself forward. So I am just preaching here to give you some word, to give you encouragement to go deeper into the things of the Lord, because he has much to show you and much to reveal about his nature and who he is as a person. But sometimes we just want to stop and say, hey, this is how things are. I'm encouraging you to go deeper, learn more about who God is and his nature and how he actually interacts with the things of the world. All right, God bless. This is Michael signing out. Bye.